Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Siebert. It's time for our tropical forecast, and we got a new update for you. So if you've been keeping score on the list, I like to say score because it's kind of like a game, but Mindy just formed in the eastern Gulf of Mexico just a few minutes ago within the 4 p.m. update. So here it is. It is just offshore. It is now has winds at 40 miles per hour. Moving to the northeast at 21 miles per hour. This thing is racing. So that means it comes on shore early Thursday, moves across Florida on Thursday, and by Thursday afternoon is out into the Atlantic, where it's expected to continue to move on out. Upper level winds might tear it apart, and so it would be down to a depression again rather quickly. So this is going to be a short-lived storm. It's not going to be a tropical storm for a long time, simply because it's going to make landfall. And the speed at which it's going, as it hits that land, it's going to kind of tear things up quite a bit, which is probably good news. Now, in the meantime, we do have some issues as we come in close here with taking a look at the radar, and so we already have tropical storm warnings in effect. We've got flash flood warnings here near Panama City as this is all heading very quickly. And if you look very carefully, watch this. This is where the low really formed today. Do you see the spin? Just started to pick up within the last couple of hours, last 2.5, 3 hours, but it's also not going to last very long because it's moving at 21 miles per hour. So it's going to make landfall tonight, probably, as it's the way that it's heading. So as you look at the big picture, this will have zero impact on us here in Southeast Texas and in the Houston area. So there it is, and there it goes very quickly off to the east. And so it actually might go into parts of Georgia. Now, I also want to show you, we have another cold front that's on the way. Yeah, another cold front. Now, again, not this time of year. Doesn't mean it's going to get cold, but it is going to give us another shot of some drier air for Thursday. This thing's going to also help to push this out to sea, which is why running into that front, running into it is really going to help tear it apart as it kind of goes out into the Atlantic. But another short-lived one here. Lots of heavy rain expected along the coast here in Florida, but it's not going to last long. Moving at 21 miles per hour, it's going to be a short-lived thing. Now let's come out here to the Atlantic. This is Larry. Already, it's down to a Category 2 storm now, so it's starting to lose some of that energy. And if you look carefully, it doesn't look quite as strong as it did yesterday. You're not seeing the deep red convection around it starting to spread out just a little bit more, but it's still a Cat 2 storm with winds at 110 miles per hour, moving to the northwest at 15. And yes, frontal boundary is going to run into it and push it back out to sea as well, which is some good news. So obviously, we're moving to the height of hurricane season where these things can happen quickly. None of these storms have been a surprise to us. As you look what happens with Larry, so there goes Cat 2, holds on to that Cat 2 status because the water here in the Atlantic is still pretty warm, but once he gets north of here off to the top of our screen, it'll lose even more of its energy. And if you look very carefully here, see there's the outline of the front right there that's now going to push through New York and then on out into the Atlantic. And so things are happening very quickly right now, but the big story for us is Mindy in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Now, I'm going to show you something for next week. This is not going to be a tropical system, but it's going to be a tropical wave that's going to send moisture in our direction, all right? So we're not worried about this forming in anything, at least at this point anyway. We'll see how that works out. So there you see, this is what Mindy is. That's what Mindy looks like right now. So this is a GFS. This goes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I want you to watch what's happening down here once we get into Friday and into the weekend. Notice how the moisture starts coming in. See those arrows? And then once we get to Monday, did you see how quickly we had that blue showing up all along the coast? Okay. Sunday night into Monday, that deep moisture is going to come into play. But since Monday, notice if we look way out here, everything's still going in the same direction. So it's not like we have this closed low. There's no closed low at this. This is just a wave of moisture that gets here from Sunday late, but really Monday's going to be the target day where we see the most, and then Tuesday to Wednesday, it's going to take some time for that whole thing to clear on out of here. So next week, after the dry weather that we've had in Southeast Texas and almost an early taste of autumn, we're going to get a reminder, yes, there's still tropical moisture out there. We're going to see some heavy rainfall. I'm still working on the totals right now, but from Sunday to Wednesday, it's not out of the question to see 5 or 6 inches of rain in many locations, especially along the coast. At least that's next week. And again, it's a tropical wave. It's just a wave of moisture, a wave of energy that's coming towards us. So a lot going on in the tropics right now. Of course, we'll keep our eye on Mindy as she moves across Florida. We'll keep our eye on Larry as it heads to the north, and this tropical wave that'll give us some moisture next week. So that's our update for today. We'll see you again real soon.